Boys and girls, when I read this story, I want you to think about what you've heard at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. When the story is done, in your notebook or on a separate piece of paper, please write what you heard at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story. The Unbeatable Bread by Lynn Littlefield Hopes. One dark morning, still dreaming in bed, Uncle John sat up and said, "I will bake an unbeatable bread." "Bread?" sighed Aunt Lucy. "Oh, dread!" "A wild bread," said Uncle John, "a wishing bread as bright as dawn." His wife gave him a tremendous yawn. "Uncle John, the children are grown. We've no one to eat it, no nieces or nephews or cousins to need it. No grandmas, no grandpas, no good great aunts." Uncle John pulled on his pants. "I will bake an unbeatable bread, awake the world from winter's sleep, melt the snow, the dark so deep. I'll break the spell of this long freeze, bring out the children and the honey bees." Aunt Lucy gave a substantial sneeze. Choo! "Uncle John, you've baked enough. The kitchen is full of poofs and pups, cookies and crumb cakes with chocolatey chips." Uncle John just licked his lips. "I will bake an unbeatable bread, an undefeatable bread. A yes bread, make a mess bread. A loud bread, feed a crowd bread." Aunt Lucy sat straight up and said, "Mr. Macon Bread, Mr. Muffin Head, if we've no one to eat it and we're snowed in tight, you'll be the one to eat every last bite. Now stop your bacon, pack up your pans. Stop eatin' the dough off your hands. Stop clangin' your spoons, singin' your songs, bangin' about with your bing-bang bombs." "I'm bakin' a bread," sang Uncle John, "a wakin' bread. I'm bakin' a shakin', wakin' bread." Aunt Lucy pulled the pillow over her head. She knew there'd be no one to eat that bread. Uncle skipped to the kitchen, stuffed with poofs and pups, pulled out the bread pans and all the bread stuffs. And as he worked, he hummed along, singing his wakin' bacon song. "I'm bakin' a bread, a wakin' bacon bread, bakin' a shakin', wakin' bread." He mixed in the yellow of the morning sun, a whistle in the wind, clouds on the run. The bread dough rose as he sang along. He rolled it in a loaf, and it wasn't long till the smell of bread baking rose up with his song. It floated upstairs and along the halls, slid out the iced windows through cold, damp walls. It sailed over trees all robed in white, wrapped round houses snowed in tight. The sweet, weedy smell seeped under doors, rose softly ringing through cracks in floors. It floated by firesides in sleepy dogs' yawns, played in fiddles and old French horns, slipped into hats, mufflers and mittens, wrapped around alley cats and little skinny kittens. Now alone by the window, Uncle watched the snow blowing deep, drifting slow, and as he watched, he hummed along, whispered his wakin' bacon song. I'm baking a bread, a wakin' bacon bread, baking a shakin', wakin' bread. The sweet smell roamed over snowy billows and great white hills, like giant pillows. It blew out into bear caves and foxes' dens, woke rabbits and moles and sleeping wrens. It whispered round snowmen, stooped under trees, and whistled in hives of honey bees, rose into bedrooms, rumbled in snores, and crept with the spiders over nursery doors. A wakin' bread, a shakin' bread, bacon a shakin', wakin' bread. Uncle scrubbed up as he sang along, and the smell of bread baking sailed on with his song. It floated over bumps and little lumps. It pulled in quilts and climbed mountainous rumps. Then silently, secretly by it slid, and found them each under pillows hid. Emma and Mia, Liza, Sam, Miss Boo, on it went to find Stevie too. Off with the blankets, off with the spreads, off with the sheets on the winter white beds. The smell of bread reached down deep, lifted them each out of sleep, and waking them with dreams of spring, it wafted them off on great soft wings. The sea sang silver, and the skinny moon smiled as they sailed away the morning miles, and the gray sky ran to gold and red with the perfect browning of the bread. Now here was the sun up and coming, and here was Stevie humming, and a tap on the window, 2, 3, 4, Emma and Mia rapping on the door, making a bread so fine. Uncle John sang in the big sunshine, baking a bread so true. There was Liza and Sam and old Miss Boo, baking a bread so proud. Up flew the bees in a soft brown cloud, baking a bread so good. In came the creatures from the wood, rabbits and moles and singing wrens, foxes and bears hungry from their dens, baking a bread, an undefeatable bread. Aunt Lucy woke to the sun overhead, popped off her pillow to smell that bread. Baking a bread, an unbeatable bread. Aunt Lucy tiptoed out of bed and snuck downstairs to see that bread. Uncle John swung wide the kitchen door, and in they came, dripping on the floor, gathered round and ready, waiting to be fed. A great big bite of the unbeatable bread. Thank you, boys and girls. Remember to write in your notebook what you think you heard at the beginning, the middle, and the end of the story.